influenza, commonly known as the flu. There are three types of influenza disease: type A, type B, and type C. All the three types of influenza may infect the humans. This is type A and type B are made up of 8 RNA segments, while type C has a 7-segment RNA genome. The influenza belongs to the virus family Orthomyxoviridae.
Let's move to type A influenza. Type A influenza is the most common and causes the most severe illness. Type A can be further subdivided based on 2 of glycoprotein on its protective envelope surface, H protein, hemagglutinin, and N protein, neuraminidase. Hemagglutinin and neuraminidase can vary a bit in their structure, so different versions are identified by a number. For example of type A are H3N2 and H1N1. It may infect human and also animal. H1N1 type A influenza virus of dark origin from the city of Alberta, Canada that was discovered in 1976. We proceed to second type of influenza, type B influenza. It is less common. Type B influenza only has a few types of H protein, hemagglutinin, and N neuraminidase glycoprotein on its surface. It only infects humans and does not mutate as often as type A. Example of type B that was found in Yamagata, Japan, which discovered 1988. Last type of influenza, type C influenza. Type C influenza is the least common compared to type A and type B. It is the only one species and least likely to mutate of the three. Unlike type B, type C influenza, it can affect both human and pigs. Rather than hemagglutinin and neuraminidase, type C influenza uses a hemagglutinin esterase fusion protein to enter and exit cell. For example, type C influenza virus found in Sao Paulo, Brazil, discovered in 1982.
Type of mutation. The first type is antigenic drift, and the second type is antigenic shift. For the antigenic drift, the virus has a tendency to mutate H and N glycoprotein during replication, and this allows the daughter virus to form slightly different from the parent virus. Over time, if enough of these changes happen, even if somebody is immune to the original virus, the mutated glycoprotein will allow it to evade and infect people who were immune to the previous strains. Antigenic shift is where sometimes a virus would be circulating among animals population like pig, then will suddenly change in a way that allows the virus to infect humans as well. This happens when the same cells, let's say a pig cell, gets infected with two similar flu viruses. For example, a flu strains that usually infect humans and one that usually infect pigs. Since the virus genome is in segment of RNA, the pieces might reassert or mix, allowing new viruses to have a mix of RNA segments in there. Readjustments result in viruses that have entirely new hemagglutinin, neuraminidase, or both. When a virus is produced that can infect human cells and has entirely new protein, people have little or no protection against it, and it can rapidly spread through the population. The outbreak in Malaysia at Ipoh on 1960, an investigation was done on three types of animals: pig, goat, and cattle. Pig and goat shows a negative infection while the cattle were reported with 9% of infection. At Shah Alam on 1977, further investigation was carried out on pigs and human sera. It shows a positive result on both. H1N1 was positive on pigs 13.9% and human was 8.0%, while H3N2 were reported with 10.4% on pigs and 96.7% on humans.
Sign and symptom. Influenza symptoms start 1 to 4 days after infection, and the symptoms include headache, fever, runny nose,
Sore throat and cough.
Most of these symptoms get better in a week, but the cough often persists for up to 2 weeks. There are sometimes complications like acute otitis media, bronchiolitis, croup, sinusitis, and pneumonia. Pneumonia, including antibiotic-resistant strain, causes by Staphylococcus aureus and Streptococcus pneumonia. For the treatment to the patient of influenza disease, mainly the patient have to get a plenty of rest first. Second, given an antiviral drug such as adamantane, amantadine, and rimantadine. Second is neuraminidase inhibitors such as zanamivir, oseltamivir, and patient also have to get a lot of drinks and eat a light diet.